Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! If you have been searching for a reason to believe in Descendants and Zombies more than you ever have in your entire existence, you have found the right YouTube channel and you've clicked on the right video. Hello once again, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Jonathan Clarke of Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs. You are watching the latest episode of Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs on my YouTube channel, and it's an honor to be in your presence once again to discuss everything Descendants and Zombies. I say this because who really talks about Descendants and Zombies in a video they upload and call it a reaction video? Because that's all it really is a reaction video to a scene or a moment or a song or something that pertains to Descendants and Zombies. Because nobody knows how to commentate on Descendants and Zombies. Because if they did, they would offer you a better analogy and a breakdown of the movie. They would offer you a better analogy of the characters and a breakdown that actually meant something to your heart. Because here's the reality of it. I know how much Descendants and Zombies means to each and every one of you, because it means just as much to my heart, because it was a niche that I fell into, and it provided me an opportunity to be seen and heard from again for the first time in a very long time. I was gone for X number of years. I had been on YouTube for forever. I wanted to find a niche that I could provide commentary on that people would fall in love with, and people surely did fall in love with all my videos on Descendants and Zombies, and all it took was one video that I uploaded a year and a half ago that got thousands of views overnight. Literally overnight, my YouTube channel exploded, and here we are a year and a half later, and I've created something special for everybody who was a Descendants and Zombies fan. This show has become slowly but surely the #1 Descendants and Zombies show on YouTube for how I break down and how I talk about the franchise, and most importantly and most notably, how I bring it to life. Who else on YouTube brings it to life? There are people who have tried to bring it to life by offering their analogies and their takes on Descendants and Zombies, but by offering you their analogies and their takes on Descendants and Zombies, they don't offer an appreciation or a value to Descendants and Zombies simply because they can't find the appreciation that I have in my heart for Descendants and Zombies. Simply because I know what it's like to be each and every one of you and to idolize Dove Cameron, to fall in love with Dove Cameron head over heels, to love Bridget so much that you can see yourself through her eyes and want to be just as kind as what she is, to find true love like Mal and Ben, or to find true love like Zed and Addison eventually did in the climax of Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires, when they realized they had reached a moment where they had wanted to spend the rest of their lives together at the conclusion of Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires, and they shared that emotional goodbye kiss. You know, I've never ever wanted to say goodbye to franchises, and that's why I've forever and always wanted to hold on to them. And how I hold on to them is by creating beautiful videos with memories that have held in my heart for forever, that I love sharing with each and every one of you, because I like to believe that some way or somehow these videos have touched somebody's heart. No matter how they touch somebody's heart, they find a way into your heart, and you guys become just as excited about the next video as you did watching this one. And that is the greatest joy and the greatest honor that I get, the greatest pleasure of my life, is creating Descendants and Zombies videos for each and every one of you who have believed in these franchises so much that they have forever and always held a special place in your heart. I have a greater appreciation for stage productions and theater. I've been a member of the theater club for forever, and I've studied some of the most successful stage productions of all time. I've seen some of the best of them come and go. From Phantom of the Opera to Beauty and the Beast to Cinderella to Aladdin, I've been a part of them all. And I've experienced some of the greatest years and greatest generations of Disney fans, but there has been no greater generation of Disney fans I have felt more honored to be a part of than in your guys' presence talking about Descendants and Zombies, because I know how much it means to your heart. So if you're looking for a YouTube channel hosted by a guy who has a greater appreciation for Descendants and Zombies than any other reaction video that you have watched tonight, then you're going to want to keep it locked on this YouTube channel, and you're going to want to hit that subscribe button. Not because I want you to hit the subscribe button, but because you want to hit the subscribe button, because you remember watching Zombies for the first time in February of 2018, because I do too, because you remember watching the premiere of Descendants on July 31st, 2015, and you're a huge fan of it. Whoever you're a huge fan of, Dove Cameron, Sophia Carson, Cameron Boyce. I talk about everything Descendants on this channel, and I make hundreds of videos on your favorite characters. Videos themed around certain characters such as Bridget, because I believe she's the kindest and sweetest, most genuine character in the history of Descendants. Videos on Dove Cameron because of how much of an inspiration and how much of an inspiration you draw from Dove Cameron, and I see and I appreciate the value and how you draw appreciation from people like Dove Cameron. I see why, because of how strong she is, how she doesn't care what anybody thinks of her, and this transformation Dove Cameron has undergone is what people draw inspiration from, how Dove Cameron is very outspoken in recent years about her past with Disney and Descendants. I get that. And because I see the greater meaning and the greater appreciation behind Descendants of Zombies, I love talking about it, because I love profiling the friendships between Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson, or Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner, which is a friendship that I think can never receive enough publicity, but in saying that for all the right reasons. Because people will take the friendship between Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson and turn it around to look like something disastrous, or they will take the friendship between Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner and perceive it for being something it actually isn't. I say this because there's a unique spell that seems to be casted on everybody that makes you fall in love with Descendants of Zombies, and that's what I'm here to do, to ensure the legacies of your favorite Descendants of Zombies stars last for forever, because I know they will forever and always hold a special place in your heart, regardless of because of the memories that the franchise created for you and that shared with you, the experience you had attending the Worlds Collide Tour. However you remember yourself from being a Descendants of Zombies fan, this is going to be something you're going to be talking about 20 years from now. And this really has become the most popular Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel in the world. And you can see why. If you've been subscribed to this YouTube channel for quite some time now, there are a lot of videos, and there is something on this YouTube channel for everybody, every member of your family. Even if it isn't about Descendants of Zombies, it's about some aspect of Disney and Nickelodeon that I remember being a fan of, because I was a huge fan of shows like iCarly, Victorious, Sam and Cat, Wizards of Waverly Place, Hannah Montana. I was a part of every generation of Disney. And that's why I love talking about Disney night in and night out, night after night. Because I just love it so much in fact that I moved into a home near a soda plantation and a chemical plant. As soon as I saw it listed, I jumped at the opportunity to move in. Because I found it a perfect opportunity and a more unique way of talking about Descendants of Zombies, and because I wanted to feel what it was like to live near a soda plantation and a chemical plant that could explode at any given moment, because you could never be too prepared for a zombie apocalypse. Come to think of it, tomorrow I have to run to the local Walmart to pick up some supplies for a zombie apocalypse that could happen at any given moment, because you can never be too prepared. And we are just under 3 weeks away from Halloween, and because we're 3 weeks out from Halloween, I've got to get prepared, because people are probably going to TP my house. People are probably going to throw candy at my door, probably go crazy, show up dressed up as your favorite Descendants of Zombies characters. And I love that when people show up to TP my house. I love when people show up to celebrate Halloween, because this time of year is a very unpredictable time of year, because you never know what someone's going to dress up as. No matter if it's your favorite Descendants character, a Disney character you grew up idolizing. It's a very unpredictable and very fun time of year. And there has never been a more fun time to become a fan of Descendants and Zombies, given all the predictions you guys are making for Descendants 5 next summer. In July of 2026, it's going to be an exciting time. And Zombies 5 forecasted to happen as late as 2028. And I know a lot of people are really disappointed that Zombies 5 is not going to happen until 2028, but I'm going to offer you some encouragement to hold on to that belief. Because whatever you believe about Descendants and Zombies, that's how you feel. And that's what separates you from every other Descendants and Zombies fan who feels differently about the franchise, saying things like, Descendants and Zombies has gone far enough, we need to stop making Descendants and Zombies movies, we've seen so much of the story, it's getting harder to follow. I've heard it all. But what I've wanted to do with this YouTube channel is keep this franchise alive eternally, which means forever in your hearts, because while it's been said that nothing lasts forever, I'm here to give you incentive to believe more than you ever have, to hold on to forever, and to hold on to that dream of Descendants and Zombies really lasting for forever, because I can go on for hours about Descendants and Zombies. I can upload hundreds of videos about Descendants and Zombies, because I see the appreciation and the value in talking about it, and I see the appreciation in your hearts. How you sacrifice so much to be a part of the Worlds Collide Tour, how you sacrifice so much for Descendants merch, how Kylie Cantrell loves to wear I Love LA merchandise, how she feels so important to each and every one of you because of how you feel about her, and the feeling is mutual. I get that. I know what it's like to feel lost because Ruby Rose Turner is not going to be a part of the Descendants franchise moving forward, but I refuse to close the door on hope for her reprising a role. Because while Dove Cameron shuts the door on her ever reprising the role of Mal, I think we can keep the door more widely open than ever before for people like Ruby Rose Turner, because she has still so much more of a story to be told, and a story that I'm really intrigued by, because explaining to us why the Queen of Hearts was the way she was, with a backdrop of info, is just one way of looking at it. But with so much more of a story to be told, I think the door has never more widely opened for Ruby to see her return to the franchise and mean even more to people like Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker, because she has so much left to offer, and just because I miss her. Shout out to Ruby. Ruby, where did you go? What happened to you? I know you have other projects and other ventures to partake in, but I think the Descendants fans would love to see you return. Liamani Segura coming in to replace Ruby is one way of looking at it, lending her voice to the song Life is Sweeter When You Are, but forever and always there's been something about Ruby's voice being on that song, and every character song specifically written for them that really means so much to the franchise. While the soundtrack only had about 8 songs, they were 8 songs that found their way to the top of the Billboard chart and on Disney radio for forever, because the songs meant something to somebody's heart. So does Descendants: The Rise of Red deserve to be criticized as much and as often as what it was? I really don't think so, because it was kind of a Harry Potter kind of wicked musical. It was everything mixed into one. It was in one big cauldron that could have exploded at any given moment. But I really do believe that because we took a chance on Descendants and Zombies, that's why it became so revered and so fun for me to review. I love talking about hope existing in the hearts of everybody for Descendants and Zombies. I've never wanted to shut down anybody's hopes of Descendants and Zombies. I've often wanted to offer encouragement of how people can be stronger and be stronger together because of Descendants and Zombies, and can get stronger because of Descendants and Zombies, because people really are stronger and some of the best friends ever because of Descendants and Zombies. I've witnessed it with my own 2 eyes. I like to believe that every single time I upload a video, people become friends, because they all find this YouTube channel all at once, and they all subscribe because they want to see Descendants 5 and Zombies 5 happen quicker. A lot quicker than what Disney is forecasting it will happen, summer 2026 for Descendants 5, and summer 2028 in the lateral part of that year, 5 years from now. That's half a decade. I mean, we don't want to have to wait half a decade for Descendants to happen, because that's just, putting a damper on everybody's hopes and dreams. We want to see Descendants 5 and Zombies 5 happen as late as 2026, if that, because I think that will allow enough time to create a great story. But the longer an elapse of time in between releases is, it will allow for a more powerful script that will eventually go on to touch your heart, that will give you more meaning and more purpose for being a Descendants and Zombies fan. After all this time getting to this point, and the realization that this is finally happening for the franchise that has forever and always meant so much to your heart, a franchise that you grew up with, at least 90% of you grew up with, it will mean more to you, and it will mean more to me reviewing it by the time it happens. Because what will happen if Zombies 5 happens in 2 years from now, by 2027, 2028, the critics will get exactly what they want. And I wanted to shut the critics out for forever. So if this movie happens in 2 years from now and they shoot them back to back, the critics will get exactly what they want. The script won't live up to your criteria or your expectations. The stars that you expect to see in the franchise will never reemerge. And what will be meant to happen for Descendants and Zombies won't happen at all. And the critics will get exactly what they want, and they'll put tears in your eyes. They'll make you cry. You won't be able to make sense of your own life. And then I'm going to have to fix everything. So I just want to let you guys know that we will get to a point when Descendants and Zombies will happen again. Descendants 5 and Zombies 5 will drop. And we'll have a greater appreciation. We'll have fun on the journey. And I will be here for each and every one of you when Descendants and Zombies 5 eventually happen. But by it happening quicker, what happens is the critics get what they want. And people like Kylie Cantrell will forever be crying. They will never have the magic spell broken on them where they've been reduced to tears because of how critics feel about them. And forgive me, but I see an issue with Kylie Cantrell crying all the time because she can't make sense of why her relationship turned out the way it did, and her boyfriend doesn't deserve to be talked about, and she can't be appreciative of the moment with each and every one of you because of how she feels. I really believe that if people who are in these relationships with these celebrities realize the value that exists in their hearts for each and every one of you and had a greater appreciation for the time they spend around you like Kylie does, I think relationships in Hollywood would turn out for the better. Forgive me, but that's the way I see it. And I'm no psychiatrist or I'm no relationship expert, but the thing is, I really do believe that a girl's worth and a girl's value is sometimes overshadowed by everything else going on in somebody else's life because they feel so superior. That's exactly what happened with Dove Cameron and Ryan McCartan, Dove Cameron and Thomas Doherty, every relationship Sophia Carson's been in that she's tried to keep private. I think that if people really understood how a girl felt and how a girl just wants to make everybody feel happy, like Dove Cameron and Kylie Control's case, I think things would turn out for the better. But it's because of your support and your love that you've had for these stars that have gotten to this point, that have made them some of the greatest of all time, even though they have never been acknowledged as some of the greatest of all time. They eventually will go down in history for being the greatest of all time, something I've always wanted to go down in history for having been. Even if I don't go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time, my legacy will forever and always be remembered of how I secured your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars and how I forever and always supported them. How I got behind Freya Sky when it seemed like all hope was lost. How I supported the idea of Ruby finding her way back to all of you in the Descendants franchise. Because I know how much each and every one of you were heartbroken over the announcement Ruby was parting ways with the franchise moving forward. There were thousands of Ruby Rose Turner fans that existed. Some people have forgotten about how many fans of Ruby Rose Turner were out there. The critics obviously did. But you guys never forgot about Ruby's contributions, and you let her know how you feel or felt about her leaving the franchise, myself included, because I've been heartbroken every night ever since. I've been crying myself to sleep. I really do believe that Ruby's character became so revered because of how kind she was and how much of an inspiration she came off to so many people. People inspired themselves to become a better person because of Ruby, myself included. And Ruby, I just want to let you know that you will forever miss being a part of the Descendants franchise. Whoever comes in to replace you, you will forever and always hold a special place in all of our hearts, and you will have our fans' support and our love for forever moving forward. I think that a lot of people just criticized the rise of Red early on into the project because Dove Cameron wasn't a part of it and they didn't want to accept Kylie Control. But as time went on and the franchise continued to evolve with all these new characters, we gained a greater appreciation for Princess Red. And originally she was never referred to as Princess Red, she was just simply Red because she wanted to be herself. As time went on, she became the Princess of Wonderland and began being referred to as Princess Red, which was a very powerful way to put over Kylie Control. And I think moving forward, I'm going to refer to her as Princess Red because I have a greater appreciation for Alice in Wonderland characters. I remember the original fairy tale classic. I remember how it was turned into a TV series that I used to watch every Sunday night. Actually, my very first podcast premiered on a Sunday night on August 15th, 1999. And I had been the biggest fan of Disney on the internet, the biggest fan on Disney on the internet for forever. And in every video that I upload, in my description, it tells you that you'll have a greater appreciation for Descendants, Zombies, and everything Disney after you watch one of my videos at least. And I like to believe some way or somehow I was able to get through to everybody. And I was able to touch everybody's heart because if I felt as if I wasn't touching your heart, then I would feel like I let all of you down. And more importantly, I would feel like I let myself down because I just wanted to be the host of the #1 Descendants of Zombies podcast in the world that could never say enough good things about your favorite Descendants of Zombies stars because I can go on about these franchises for forever because I know how much they meant to the stars, the writers and producers, and to each and every one of you because I know these memories these franchises have created and forever and always held a special place in your heart will last for forever. Because while it's been said that nothing lasts forever, things most certainly have a chance of lasting for forever. The question is, how much do you believe in it? You know, if Aladdin can look at Jasmine before their magic carpet ride and ask her, do you trust me? And he can gain her trust. Ever since that moment from November of 1992, I've always held on to the belief that anything is possible. Every dream can become a reality for everybody out there. And that dream is that much closer to your heart than you've ever realized or ever take a step back and put into perspective. Because I really do believe that if Belle can fall in love with a man-beast from 1991's Beauty and the Beast classic, when Simba can return to Pride Rock and overtake his father's throne and reclaim his place in history, everything can happen, and everything happens for a reason. Descendants of Zombies just didn't happen overnight because a writer and producer and a team of people sat in a board meeting and came up with the concept of Descendants of Zombies to outride the success of High School Musical from almost 25 years ago. It happened because each and every one of you fell in love with it. And my issue with it is nobody really honors you guys for making Descendants of Zombies into a global phenomenon. And that's what I've always wanted to do, is honor you guys for the prestige that you've given to these franchises and how you remember the legacies of your favorite stars past and present, because you really give this franchise life, you give it meaning, and you give it purpose, and you've been deserving of a lot of respect, more respect than any critic has given you. And here's the thing, they are going to continue to try to shut you out and shut down your hopes and dreams if you don't subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you subscribe to somebody else's YouTube channel, I can't promise you you'll see the value in their video and their opinion on Descendants of Zombies, if they even give you an opinion on Descendants of Zombies and your favorite stars. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, I am no critic. I'm a journalist for over 25 years, and I've been around a lot longer than many of you have been alive, and it's been the greatest honor of my life to be in your presence, to upload all these videos about Descendants of Zombies. I even pre-schedule content when I have some things get in the way of my everyday life. I could be on top of the roof, ready to fall off of it when I'm repairing shingles. I could be out getting groceries, but I always have something uploaded about Descendants of Zombies. And that is what makes this YouTube channel very different from every other Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel, if in fact there is a Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel on the internet that doesn't use AI. This show may be hosted by a guy that could be on top of his roof tomorrow morning fearing for his life, about to fall off his roof, because he's no Superman, but this show will forever and always be here because I've given up my life and dedicated the rest of my life until the day I die uploading Descendants of Zombies videos for every single person who has ever believed in the franchises they love. No matter how you feel about it, Descendants of Zombies isn't going anywhere anytime soon, and I'm going to be around and I'm going to be here for a very long time, showing you the respect that you deserve for these two franchises for a very long time. So if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, I think you're going to want to think about doing that, because I have a greater appreciation for Descendants of Zombies and each and every one of you, because you will forever and always hold a very special place in my heart, and it really has become the greatest honor of my life to be here to review Descendants of Zombies for each and every one of you. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to upload this video, I'm going to run out to the local Walmart and get some Halloween treats, which I have not picked up yet, and I know Halloween is only 3 weeks away, and I have a lot of time to get treats, but I'm crazy about this kind of stuff. And there's one guy crazy enough to do this gig about Descendants of Zombies all the time for each and every one of you, 24/7, 365. It's this guy, because Descendants of Zombies will forever and always hold a special place in my heart. Guys, seriously, thank you so much for all the love and support you've shown this YouTube channel. Keep Descendants of Zombies in your hearts. Keep rocking out to the music. Keep supporting Freya Sky, Clarke, and Shrub, because they need as much love and support as they can get, and I'm here to show them that on this YouTube channel. One can only hope that Clarke and Shrub sees and hears my voice, and Dove Cameron sees and hears my voice, and it gives them incentive, because we are in this together, and if we're going down, we're going to die together in a blaze of glory. Guys, thank you so much. We will talk again in just a few hours from now. Keep Descendants of Zombies in your heart, and keep rocking out to the franchises that have forever and always held a special place in your heart.